Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I know things out there are a little bit wacky with everything happening with the coronavirus, but what can you do? We just gotta keep simming. I'm pretty sure that's what Dory said in Finding Nemo, just keep simming. So today we're going to be working on the Fischoeder mansion, and this is part of the ongoing project of making the Bob's Burger town in Magnolia Promenade. And this is the final build for this project. So we have reached the end, my dears. We're finally there. We've done it. Now, really, Mr. Fischoeder's building should be in a different location. Like, it's in a different neighborhood. But I was like, you know what? I want to keep all the Bob's Burgers builds together. And I actually just want a place to dump all of my Bob's Burgers townies, because when I was playing the restaurant at Bob's Burgers, and then I posted some pictures of that, people were like, we need more Teddy. And I was like, you know what? Actually, we do. We probably need all of the townies from everywhere to live in this neighborhood. So I ended up downloading a bunch of townies from the gallery. So now I have like the whole Jimmy Pesto family. I have a Teddy and a Gail. I have the Fischoeders, the Fischoeder brothers, Calvin and Felix Fischoeder. I also have a Marshmallow and Speedo guy. I wanted a place in the same neighborhood to just dump all the townies so that when I'm in this neighborhood visiting, they'll just show up and I'll be like, heh, 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 we're in Bob's Burgers. So I started doing the Fischoeder mansion just to round out the neighborhood and make it the last Bob's Burgers build for this neighborhood. But then I was like, maybe I could squeeze in like 2 apartment buildings behind the Fischoeder mansion so that way you, if you wanted to, you could play as Mr. Fischoeder and he could be the one that like owns the property, and then all of the people in the apartments are like roommates, because then he would be collecting rental income just like he does in the show. So that's what I end up doing, and it's a little bit squishy because this is not a very big lot, but overall I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So here I'm just kind of like trying to make everything look a little fancy on the front, and one great way to like kind of cheat the dimensions of things when you're working on a small lot, so maybe you don't have room to put a fence, you can use debug fence items in order to bring the fence all the way to the property line, which you can't do with normal fencing. It has to be at least 1 square away from the edge of the property. So I really, really, really like using debug fences for the edges of properties. But yeah, and then I'm just doing Teddy's house, and this is actually very similar to what Teddy's house looks like on the outside. We do get to see Teddy's house. I think there's a Christmas episode where we see the outside of Teddy's house. But all of these builds, so the Fischoeder mansion, Teddy's house, and then also Gail's house, are all based off of different Thanksgiving episodes, which I think is so bizarre. I didn't plan for this, it just happened, but then I realized, oh my god, these are all Thanksgiving episodes. So the Fischoeder mansion is based off of Indecent Proposal from season 3's Thanksgiving episode. Teddy's house is based off of Thanks Hoarding from season 8 Thanksgiving episode. Apartment is based off of season 6's Gail Makes Bob Sled. It's a pun because bobsled, yeah. Anyway, he like goes to pick her up in the middle of a snowstorm, and like the car gets buried in snow when the snowplow goes by, so he's like dragging her via a sled back to the house for Thanksgiving. It's a pretty funny episode, but you do get to see a lot of the inside of Gail's house, and you get to see the outside of Gail's house, so yeah. And also in Thanks Hoarding, that's when we find out that Teddy actually has a hoarding problem. I'm pretty realistic to the show, and I do put in a room in Teddy's house that is just for all of his hoarded things. And then above Gail's apartment, I have just a random other apartment for having roommates in, and I put the health inspectors in there in my game. And then in Teddy's house underneath of it, I again put in like a sort of generic apartment, but I actually like it a lot better. It's supposed to be Marshmallow in the Speedo guy's apartment, so I liked how that one turned out. I used a lot of really fun colors. I really like Marshmallow and Speedo Guy's apartment. Also, Speedo Guy has shown up a lot, and he like still doesn't have a name. Like, I don't know, I just think it's funny. Like, he's been there from season 1, and he just shows up randomly in a bunch of episodes, but he's still just called Speedo Guy. So I found Speedo Guy and Marshmallow in my search for Bob's Burgers townies. They made me laugh, so I downloaded them along with the health inspectors, because the health inspectors are also pretty good. Ron, the health inspector Ron, his fro is just kind of ridiculous, like his giant blonde curly mass of hair. It's pretty great. So, and his sim self was like, oh my god, I can totally see that it's Hugo and Ron, the health inspectors. So I had to download them, I had to. But yeah, and also we do learn in season, what season is that? Season 2? It's season 4. It's season 4. So we do also see Gail's house in The Kids Run Away, season 4, episode 19, when Louise runs away to her aunt's house, and we see that Gail sleeps underneath her Murphy bed. Like, she has her Murphy bed like partially pulled down and set up kind of like a fort to protect her from, I don't know exactly, but I don't know, it's like a Gail thing to do. But yeah, she does actually have a Murphy bed. But then, because logistics of actually having things operate and function when you're playing the game, I did not overload her apartment with a bunch of junk. Like, she also has another couch in there. So I was like, oh, I can't really have the couch and the Murphy bed in there. But I did do the Murphy bed that is also a couch. So it kind of works out. And then we move on to the Fischoeder mansion. I feel like I'm getting pretty good at decorating the inside of mansions, because I did Yubaba's apartments from Spirited Away. That was like my first intro to like this kind of a style. This like really Victorian interior decorated style that's just a bit much. It's like a dollhouse. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like decorating a dollhouse. I don't know if anyone has ever gotten into doing dollhouses, but it is very Victorian era skewed. It's hard to find any furniture or dollhouse styles that are not like Victorian era. The wallpapers they have on offer, furniture they have on offer, it's all very old-timey. It's not my favorite style to decorate in, but I'm getting good at it. And then this one is based off of Indecent Proposal. I think you already said that. That is season 3. Thanksgiving episode from season 3. So we do get to see in that episode the Fischoeder mansion's kitchen, which has its own servant's entrance from the back that Bob has to go through. So I made sure I had one of those. And we see the hallway as well as the dining room. And that's pretty much all we see, but that's more than we've ever seen before. So felt like it had a decent amount to go off of, and I think it turned out all right. And then everything else was just kind of like similar style, copy-paste style. It's fine. Ornate wallpapers and wainscoting and lots of curtains. So many curtains. All of the curtains. I don't actually like doing curtains that much. It's something that I've like gotten used to doing, but I don't know. I feel a bit meh about curtains. I don't know what my deal is. I prefer the light to just come into the house, especially since like Sims don't really care about privacy like you do in the real world, but we want it to be realistic and sumptuous looking, so curtaining it up. And then just a lot of portraits on the wall, just so many portraits, because their dining room, or Mr. Fischoeder's dining room, is really cluttered, just really cluttered. But anyway, that is pretty much it from me today. I'm gonna let y'all finish this video out with some music. There's a bunch of comparison screen caps between the show and the final product of the build. You get to see Teddy's and Gail's and Mr. Fischoeder's. I don't show the other apartments, but you know, they're pretty nice. So if you do want to download this, you can find it on the gallery. You can just search for Emmengard. That's the EA Access ID. And yeah, take care, stay safe out there, stay healthy. I hope you have enjoyed this. And if you have, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.